Good evening, everyone. Oh, I'm wondering why I can't find the game. It's on Amazon. Just a second here. 61430.
Give it to him again. And into the end zone he goes. Touchdown. Really grown up. After the Aaron Rodgers era, they've had to go through some growing pains. This is a year they really feel they can put it all together. You add Carson into that, and this is a special recipe of who they can be this year. Extra point by McManus is good. That's 90 in a row. Here's the big play on the drive. Win the challenge. Lead 14 zip.
Miss kickoff? No problem. You can still get in on the action live with DraftKings Sportsbook. They've got tons of live betting options at your fingertips. Bet on the next touchdown, next drive, or stack your favorite scores in a live same-game parlay as the action unfolds. And with DraftKings Live Touchdown Scorer Profit Boost, you can turn a big touchdown
Insurance isn't the same as having
I'm gonna talk to my wife. Hold on.
I've got your
Sorry. Damn it. Oh, okay. Here you are. Sorry. Can you hear me now? Hey, Bob, Zeke, Mike, Squint. I was I was muted because I was having a phone conversation with my wife.
Hey everybody, my name is Jared. I host the daily live podcast.
All right, all right, all right. My phone's gonna die though. I don't really need to see myself though. Okay. I'm sorry about. Well, by the way, mute myself when I go to eat chips. So, honestly, just a lot going on in the world. Just a lot going on. I feel like I got word of at least two school shootings, including the Naval Academy, and I was just like, we need to chill. We need to develop community. I love sports and video games, and I'm looking to meet like minded people to just hang out and not plan the extrajudicial murder of our fellow Americans, to be completely honest. I need us to not be doing that. If we could all just be friends, okay? But we're just gonna sit here, watch a football game. This isn't to say we can't have conversation. Big wind up, almost to completion. Yeah. Well, so what I guess I needed to normally tell you is normally my wife's here and we go to bed like adults. But my wife isn't here. She's out of town. So I'm gonna stay up late, watch a football game. Apparently, not much of one. Hey, glad to see you. So, and a lot of to be honest with you, a lot of the people that I've met on this app, that I've communicated with, other creators that I've become friends with, they're fucking going through some shit and they need some semblance of normalcy, right? They need to see someone that they normally see being fucking serious talking about the news having a life, doing something other than screaming into the void, right? I think I am a serious football fan, and again, just developing community. You know, I much prefer them as the Commanders. By the way, nobody asked my opinion on their name change. Sorry, Squint. Largely, I'm just here to hang out. I know that there's a series of infinite tragedy upon us, and yeah, the Commanders are playing the Packers Thursday Night Football. It's on Amazon. If you're having trouble finding it, that's why. Yeah. Well, I was talking to my wife and my sister-in-law and my mother-in-law. Yeah, it's on Amazon. I'm not happy. So for the record, this is Jared being a little pissy that he has to watch his football on fucking Amazon. Just a little pissed. And I don't like hate either one of these teams, so I can't be like, and it's all the fucking Commanders' fault. Like, it's not even like a legitimate beef. But I hope that you all had a good day, despite um, the evil that is upon us. It's real talk. We got to talk about that conversation that I had at work. I'm kind of wondering if I should just let that go. What are you doing, doggies? I just heard my dogs. I don't know if you guys heard that. It went. Looks like Washington's about to score here. They could make it a one-score game. Just got to get rid of the ball. Right. You know what the best part about this game being shown on Prime is it just reminds me to let my audience know don't fucking shop at Amazon. Shop locally. hmm You should be, you know what my wife have done specifically because of this administration? We've gone and found Latino owned, black owned, LGBTQIA plus owned, female owned businesses that we are supporting. That's what we are doing. hmm We're making sure we grace them with our fucking dollars. Directly fighting exactly against this regime. I'm going to go blanket the companies you're trying to bankrupt with my dollars. And I'm really starting to get really pissed that this Mexican restaurant around the corner from my house that has the best Mexican food, the best margaritas I've ever fucking had in my life, 5 minutes from my fucking house, and that shit is fucking empty. I don't want to be a fucking food reviewer, but these motherfuckers are gonna make me, is what's gonna happen. I didn't want to be a food talker, but I'm tired of sitting in a restaurant that I really like knowing that this is not sustainable. But my wife go in there like once a week and drop like $200. It's great. They like know us when we go and shit. Moved out a large cap stock. Yeah. You gotta promote local businesses. And I found a food talker that finally does it how I would do it. And that is, you don't even tell them you're making content. You don't tell them you're a food reviewer. You order shit you was going to order anyway. You make content when they're not looking. You don't involve them. You're not shooting the people in that business. You're shooting the je ne sais quoi and the fucking food. And it was expensive. I spend dollars. You know what I mean? Um, and all of it is with the hope of keeping that place fucking open because I like their food. And every time we go in there for lunch, it's fucking empty. She's ate her dinner before I ate mine. And like my dude, what up, Lance? Did he miss that? Oh, they missed that field goal. No, I'm late. Yeah, watching. Okay, while it just went to halftime. Hold on. I'm not. I'm doing good. I mean, all things considered, right? Like, I'm all here. I'm good. It's been a wild fucking day and a half. I really just wish people would stop eulogizing a traitor. If we could just do that. Hey, Aston Martin. Hey, Linz. Hope you guys had a good day, despite all the evil that is upon us. Holy fuck. It would be really nice if we just stopped trying to unalive each other for 5 seconds. Here, look, football. America loves football. Do you know how much crime goes down when football season's on? Do you know how much lower the crime rate is when your team wins? Do you know how much your graduation rate goes up when your football team's good? Do you understand that football is life? And I'm not talking about soccer. Football is the key to everything. Football will bring us all together. Do you know watching competitive sports is the most I know that was supposed to say Purdue, JR. I know that was supposed to say Purdue, and it was supposed to be personal. Yep, and you did it twice. You must be an IU grad. That must be what this is right now. Indiana University in the house, right? That's what you came on here to do? That's what you came on here to do? With your Indiana State. Is that your Ball State? Is that your Ball State education sticking out? Or did you go to Ooey Pooey? Not many people can handle it. I give them several really good reviews. I need to start giving them reviews. Chirp, chirp. Ball State. Yep. Everybody hates Purdue. It's actually the second best thing about being a Boilermaker is the hate. It's it smells. Oh God. God. You know what's crazy about my neighborhood? There are 27 homes and 11 Boilermakers. So I've never lived in a neighborhood in my whole life where more than like a third of the people in my neighborhood all went to the same college. Like there are Boilermaker flags in my neighborhood. I'm a house divided though. I'm a house divided. So I was raised an IU fan. It's just I got a 1510 on the SAT when I was 15. So my mother told me you're not allowed on IU's campus. Not with that SAT score you're not. And then I got a 33 on the ACT, and my dad was like, "You're never allowed in that county, much less allowed out of Indianapolis or West Lafayette." I went to Purdue to be an astronaut, but I grew 2.5 inches. Touchdown. Oh, we're at halftime. I forget. IU would have changed my social life. I don't know if we've ever talked about this. I went to one party at Indiana University. Okay? I don't know if this is probably the audience for this story. The late night regulars. Um, I actually went to two parties, one at IU and one at Ball State that were life-changing events. And I'm going to tell you about both of them. So the first one, first of all, they had all of the necessary permits. And so before you try to tell me about how parties are supposed to go, I want to start by telling you a story on 3rd Street and Indiana University where they got the fucking permits. Okay? So what happened was it was an apartment complex that had three buildings in the shape of a horseshoe and a big courtyard in the middle. And many people are that here have heard this story. You already know what I'm talking about if you've partied on or near IU's campus. And what they did was they made everybody park on the street and they turned the courtyard into a stage, and then everyone in the apartment complex on all four floors, or no, it was three floors. It was three floors, not four. I want to over tell the story. Okay? Every single apartment had a party all at the same time. The bands played like 16 hours a fucking day for 3 days. It was the most insane talent level. What the fuck ever that you'll ever see outside for free while everyone's walking around shamammered, right? Your boy was stuck in fucking tourist mode because I was like, where are the cops? Like, why aren't people being fucking arrested and flung around like rag dolls? What the fuck is going on here? And I'm dead ass. They had the permits. They had the necessary permits. They only rented in that complex to second year, third year, fourth year students, grad students. So they knew the odds of someone in here being fucking 21 or under 21 pretty low. Pretty low. B-Town cops can be rented. Yeah, I know. So when I came home from the Marine Corps many years later, I worked in Bloomington for over a year. I agree. Bloomington cops can be bought. I agree. I used to work for a detective for Bloomington PD. He had a ADT contract. So yeah, I know. I know cops can be bought. Yeah, hell yeah. All right, so nothing bad happened at that. It was just I went apartment to apartment and just greeted people and just high fived and dapped people up. Think about that now, you'd get COVID and die, right? Went around apartment to apartment, dapped people up, took shots, fucking drank, slung back beers. It was fucking great. Had a ball. But I was enamored with the fucking music. I was absolutely taken aback at the talent level of these people that like drove from all over the country to play at this party. And some of them only got to play filler sets. Some of them only played like 15 minutes. And they would be crushing, and you would just be like, oh, okay, what is going to happen? Now, what's hilarious about this story, about IU campus party, okay, is that many years later, like over a decade later, I met my now best friend at a job who was at Purdue, or at IU, he was pre-law at IU during that time. And he was like, do you remember seeing such and such band? And so imagine you ran into someone a decade after the greatest party that you ever went to in your life, and they were like, okay, on Saturday at 7:10, do you remember this band? And I was just like, yeah. Yeah, I remember that band playing. And he was like, I was the fucking MC. Oh my god! Like, okay. So that was IU. That was Indiana University. I try to keep it super G-rated. Because you and I know what happens when everybody's drinking, right? Because we've all been to parties when not everyone's drinking, right? But if you've ever been to a party where everybody's drinking, it's for like 3 days. It's goddamn magical. The key is balance. Everything in balance, kids. Now, the second party, okay? The second party. Blackout the system. Boycott starts Monday, ends Friday. Okay? The second best party I've ever been to in my entire life is not a party I hosted. So I just want to continue to point out this is not me on a soapbox talking about how awesome I am at holding parties. We can talk about that fucking party. Okay? But the second best, well, yeah, second best party I ever went to was at Ball State. It was fucking sponsored by Jägermeister. So I don't know if you've ever been on a college campus when Jägermeister sponsors a fucking house party, but they had a Jaeger fountain in the backyard of this house party. Again, I'm going to say you couldn't do that shit now. You'd kill everybody. Okay? COVID. Right? Hey, that's how you unalive a bunch of people right there. Is that Jägermeister fountain? So yeah, they had a Jaeger fountain, and we were house party hopping. It was homecoming weekend at Ball State. There was a bunch of house parties. It was awesome. There are a bunch of neat little houses built near Ball State's campus. Okay. We get to the main house that has the Jaeger fountain and come to understand, I want to say that Ball State's in the NCAA tournament or some shit. And so everybody goes to run to the B-dubs to go watch them play. And people that haven't really moved all day, that have just been fucking shooting Jägermeister all day, puked a trail of glow in the dark all the way from the party to B-dubs, and they let everyone in and let everyone drink and let everyone party. It was the most insane. Like, imagine going through multiple neighborhoods and everyone's hosting a house party and people are out in the yard for like 2 days. For 2 days on Ball State's campus. They partied like fucking animals. It was a trip. Two best parties I've ever been to in my life. Indiana and Ball State. Yep. And from what I understand, yeah, JR has got it right here. That, my friend, is a normal weekend. That's a normal weekend. That little puke trail all the way down the street and shit. Normal. Seen it. Like the people I hung out with were nothing was a fucking shock. Also, alcohol is bad. Okay? Also, you can do none of the things that we're talking about. Starts on Tuesday, ends on Saturday, 16th to the 20th. But yeah. Alcohol and drugs are bad. Okay? You should join a union. And don't forget, you probably have to work tomorrow. Hey, Stacy. Mike, I gotta really be honest with you, brother. I must have picked that tip up somewhere else. The thing is, at this job, I literally try not to work and I still get paid a ton of fucking money. And I'm just like, what? God damn it. What happens if I work hard? Nothing. We Hoosiers have an amazing accent. Yes. It's like we speak the King's English, but you can roll in and out of a real Hoosier accent and talk to anybody. Northern Indiana has a different accent than Southern Indiana. Offsides. Yeah, he threw that at his ankles. So, the Packers look really good. The accents up and down the Jersey coast. Oh my God. New Jersey, I honestly, I didn't ever think I would hear somebody with a Jersey accent that's Pakistani, right? I didn't think I would hear someone from fucking Ireland with a Jersey accent. You're just like, shut the fuck up. You're not even supposed to be talking. Like, how's your tongue not tied in knots? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, New Jersey is one of the most diverse places in the United States. Did you know the two most diverse college campuses in the United States? Did you know this? Purdue University and Rutgers. Did you know that? By the way, Rutgers fucking football program on the fucking up and up. Yeah, Rutgers and fucking Purdue. Two of the most diverse college campuses in the country. Indians with Minnesota accents are cutters, though. Rutgers area is like its own town. Yeah. Ball. Jesus. Green Bay is playing tough. That's how the FF contention downtown Indy's supposed to be. By the way, I I will go off camera to do it, but my wife the last thing my wife told me before the last thing my wife told me before she said goodnight was you're not elevated and you need to get elevated. Yeah. Yeah. I had a wild conversation at work, completely took me out of my element. Yeah. She's like, you're not elevated. You should fix that. Cause she was talking to me about like she's on a girls trip, you know. That's what I make all that money for, is so that she can run away out of state. Oh yeah, held him. Oh yeah. Dude, Parsons is an animal. Sorry. No, hey, buddy. Hey, look, everybody. My dogs, they love me. Okay. Disarmament. Hey, buddy. You want chip? Good boy. I didn't want him to choke. Yeah, they are kind of walking around like, what the fuck's going on? You know what I mean? I gotta explain to them that your mother, who loves horror films, ran away with her fucking girls to a cabin in the woods, is what she decided to do. It's her birthday. So, you know what? I if I was her, I would want to take a girls trip out somewhere my phone don't work. I do not blame her at all. I don't feel I'm certainly not never jealous. Nice ball love. Nice ball love. Yeah, sounds fucking awesome. My favorite part about it was they only took one bottle of wine, which is hilarious. Because they're going to a state where it's legal. Who gives a shit about wine? You can drink fucking wine anywhere. Yeah. She said because Michigan is the shit. In case you didn't know, if you go to a place that you haven't been before, they have like first time buyer specials. And so my wife said their bill was supposed to be like probably a couple $100, and it was $56 split. So it was like $28 a piece. It's just like we got a whole bag of shit. It's just like, oh god. They basically give you shit. It's fucking crazy. Like it's yeah, and you earn points. They have like whole programs and shit. Yeah. The only thing about it is I've told my wife, we can't go buy stuff for other people because that's drug trafficking across straight lines and across state lines and that's illegal as fuck. So no, you don't pick up. Mm-mm. Just go and have a nice weekend. Enjoy. There's not even any sense in bringing the shit home. That's the way I feel about it, honestly. You know what I haven't realized? Are you ready for the lamest thing you'll ever hear me say? Are you guys ready for this? Some of these laws make sense. I I'm just saying. I'm just some of these laws I'm like how they arrive at that. Like it's fucking stupid. There's a reason that there's a difference between like regular and like medical. You know what I mean? And if you know, you know. Colts, Packers, you heard it here. Packers look good. Yeah. So know that they don't even sell the good shit to people from out of state. You have to have a card. Michigan is like one of my bail states. Bail 2 states, I think. Shit, big boy just fucked up a drive. Thanks, Squint. I'll let her know you said happy birthday. I'm glad they're having a good time. They're sitting out at a bonfire, high as a kite right now, off edibles. People who don't normally do drugs are doing drugs. And drugs are bad. But you can do some on your birthday with your mom and your sister. Because that would be hilarious. And you know what happened? Do you know what happened to me today that's like the best thing ever? So I am a gamer. When I say gamer, I'm not the normal person. I am the person that was abused and turned to gaming as a form of escapism as a young child and hung on to that hobby. And now I'm in my fucking 40s and I can work. Man, I can work like a motherfucker. Make money, I can make money like a motherfucker. But if I had a fucking talent that is just like, this is just kind of who I have always been, it's a gamer. Like board games, card games. Yep. So there's this game. I'm hoping that there's people here when I introduce the audience to the greatest game of all time. The greatest game of all time is Werewolf. If you know, you know. And I hope that I'm introducing you to something. hmm Hey, Bobby. My wife's out of town, staying up to watch Thursday Night Football. I think we need to hang out, you know? Especially since my wife's out of town. Um, but I'm gonna make it a point to to stay up, do a little community building, not really talking about the news or what happened, just watching a football game. So if you're watching Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime, I hope that throw up noise hurt your feelings. Yeah. So I was paralyzed by choice when I went to college. So what I mean is that I had something nobody else had, and that was a car. So when I was a freshman at Purdue, so I went to the Boiler Up. It's called the Gold Rush. Um, I think it's called the Gold Rush. I forget. Boiler Rush. I can't remember. There is a program, a summer program at Purdue where you go to college at a semester early. Basically, what it did is it let me get out of Mooresville, Indiana, the first week of fucking June after I graduated. So I graduated high school like the last day of May, and I was on Purdue's campus, I think on the 7th of fucking June, and was enrolled full time as a Purdue student. Shit. You know what I'm saying? My birthday was in July, and I was 18 years old on Purdue's campus. I had 30 credit hours before Christmas. My first, you know what I'm saying? Like before my first semester of college was over. Um, it was a good time. Um, I just watched. Sorry, I just watched a grown man make an athletic move that's not an athlete. But yeah, I went to Purdue and I was paralyzed by choice Basically, I had been invited to a house party where half the people there were gonna be schmirking, okay? And on my sort of way out, someone asked, "Can you run me to the grocery store?" And one of the kind of rules that I kind of had for my friends was that, hey, as a general rule, no, but if it involves food, I'll I'll do it, man. So I went to take one of my neighbors, one of my friends. I went to take him to the grocery store, and he got in my truck and said, "What's up, man?" And lit something up, and we smoked. And then he was like, "What do you feel like right now?" And I was like, "I need a cigarette." And so we went to the gas station, and I got a gas station hot dog. That was my virginity right there. I lost my virginity at a gas station. First gas station hot dog, first cigarette, and also high for the first time, all on the same day, and I was driving. So what ended up happening is I could barely function and still had to get us to the party, and that this person didn't know they were going to because I completely forgot that they got groceries. So then my ass has to take them to the grocery store, and then I just went to the party, and I laid in the bed of my pickup truck and just looked up and was like, "Oh my God." So you can't really do this shit and drive. What is anyone thinking? And I just like laid in the back of my truck until I was like, okay. And I got in my truck and drove it because it was out in the country. So I got out there and sat for a while until I got my shit together. And then I drove back and picked him up at the grocery store after an hour and took him back and made him come with me. Yeah. I also lost another virginity that night. It's crazy. I dated that person for almost 2 years. It was crazy. That was the craziest day of my life. Life is coming at you 1,000 fucking miles an hour, kid. Oh, so they wanted an hour at the grocery store by themselves, and they thought that I was gonna go with them, and I'm like, no, I'm going to a party. And they were like, leave me at the grocery store for 1 hour, and I was like, oh shit. Fine, I'm gonna run to this party. It's like 15 minutes away. I didn't even go into the party the first time. I pulled in the driveway and I laid in the bed of my pickup truck. Dead ass. People came out and checked on me. Like one of my roommates, one of the guys that, well, not one of my roommates, the guy that lived on my floor. It was his brother's house. He came out and like tried to get me to drink a beer, and I was like, no. And then he had to drink the beer, and he was like, what the fuck? And I was just like, I'm not staying. I'm going to pick up dude. And he was just like, are you? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, I'll go get you water. And so he came back with a water, and then two girls came out and sat on the bed of the pickup truck for a while. And then one girl was like, I think she was trying to meet me. And I was just like, I can't. I gotta go meet dude. And she's like, oh, you have a guy friend? And I was like, I gotta get out of here. What the fuck? So I got in my truck and left and went and picked dude up and like helped him load his groceries, and like he got a lot, y'all. This was probably like a $400 grocery bill in '02. You know what I'm saying? Like one of those ones where he had like a TV and you were just like, man, I didn't know you were going to shop like that. Like, what the fuck? You drop someone off at a Walmart. You know what I mean? Some things you never quite think all the way through. But when looking back on that now, somebody was like, "Drop me off here so I can shop for the next year," and did all that shit in an hour while I literally sat at a party. You know, because like other people sit at parties and they cry, right? Because nobody will talk to them. Me, I pull up to the party too early. Why am I fucking here? The sun is still out, right? Sitting in the driveway, and I'm just sitting there like, oh my God. What am I doing? Because you gotta understand, I was a fucking dare kid. I was a fucking dare kid. I was traumatized sitting in the driveway of this party, just like, oh my God, I'm so fucked. The good news is that was not the whole hour. I was really only like anxious for like 15 minutes, but that was the only time I ever had a problem. So what ended up happening is that I found out that I could be all the time and have like a 3.86 GPA in the Purdue flight program. And honestly, looking back on it, I think it got to my head. Um, and ultimately, not becoming a hardcore alcoholic was debilitating for my social life as a potential pilot because of the negative stigma of marijuana use at the time. So you basically can't be an air traffic controller or pilot if you're a weed smoker. And I was a lifetime athlete, still trying to play sports and shit. I was banged up all the fucking time. And you have to make a choice at some point. At some point, you got to make choices. I played club volleyball and was on the ski and snowboard team because everybody else they wanted you to buy fake piss. And once you get to the part where you could play sports at the next level, but you gotta buy fake piss, you're doing the wrong. It's the same thing with work. Like, we did this shit for a while, but y'all know what I'm talking about. If you had to drive around with warm piss in your car because of a job, right? Them was the fucking days. Yeah. That dude shopped for groceries and life happened. The it's the only but that was a great party. They had a triple kegger, uh and it was really good. Like, not three of the same, three different styles of all cold. As far as I know, we got a good drink out of all those. God, we had some great house parties. Can't do that shit now, we'd all die. I don't know that we would all die, but it's funny. It's funny to think that. Never did drugs since 55 years old. So, hope you're all having a good evening. We're just chilling, watching Thursday Night Football. All vibes, no real news or politics to talk about it tomorrow. We're due better. We're due better leadership. We don't mourn traitors. Make sure we plant that firmly in our Abdullah Oblongata. You know, here's what I'm saying. Here's what I'm saying, okay? I want you to feel an iota of what you feel over that you feel about that in Evergreen, Colorado yesterday. I want you to feel a fucking ounce of what you feel about watching Charlie Kirk. I want you to feel 1 ounce of that. 1 fucking ounce of that for one school shooting. One time. And the thing about it is we can't get anyone to feel anything about, but they're gonna have like really vivid fucking memories, and fucking they want to talk about it, and they want to memorialize it, and they want to sit and ponder at length. And you know what I'm saying? Fuck traitors. Move the fuck on. You got bigger mountains to climb. Benny Johnson, Ben Shapiro. How about you take on some fucking real heavyweights in this fight now that this has happened? Now that the scales of justice have meted themselves out once more in this playthrough. It's just the way the world works. The pendulum swings both fucking ways. Soapbox. But we don't mourn traitors here. And I like to think that's why people stick around, you know, because they know you're not going to see me ponder the loss of my cash cow. And when I see creators with a following talking about, that's all I can think about. You're just making money off his death. But that's what would make me considered polarizing, right? Is that I don't take middle of the road fucking stances on shit. Absolutely. Absolutely. Like I said, you get tenfold the energy you put into the universe. You get 10 fucking fold what you put into the universe. And you know what? I watched him, and that's tenfold what he put in the fucking universe. So you know what? Mom didn't miss. She was fucking 1,000% correct. Be wary the energy you put into the universe, boy. It comes back to you tenfold. I'll never forget it. If you cheat, you draw cheaters. If you're dishonest, you draw dishonest people. Did Luka say a word in this commercial? Luka Doncic is in an NBA commercial for Amazon, and he doesn't say a word. He smiles and looks around. By the way, y'all, Micah Parsons looks really fucking good. Worth every penny. He just absolutely crushed your running back. Catch, catch. Oh, hey, Green Bay's defense is knocking heads. Up 2 touchdowns, by the way. A nice stem. Nixon played that well. It's still a good ball. Cowgirls? No, he got fucking traded. Because Jerry Jones is an idiot. Can I say that on this app? Does anyone know? Can I talk shit about the Dallas Cowboys on TikTok? Does anyone know? Will I get banned on TikTok if I talk shit about the Dallas Cowboys? Guess who I married? I married Jerry Jones' biggest hater. That's my wife. She cannot fucking stand Jerry Jones. Hey, buddy. You ready to go to bed and shit? My dogs are like, what are you doing? Like, why aren't we in bed? You said about the Cowgirls? Yeah. My wife hates Jerry Jones and the Cowboys. She just can't fucking stand them. I can talk shit about the Cowboys and say, these motherfuckers are supposed to be America's team and they haven't won shit my whole life. Most of my life. But like my boss at work is young enough that he can say that Dallas hasn't won shit the whole time he's been alive. Supposed to be America's team. Like my ass. Who would you say is America's team? Like who represents uh America? In my opinion, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Specifically Mike Tomlin, who's probably one of the best head coaches in any sport ever. But also the Steelers had Bill Cowher before Mike Tomlin, and that's my entire life. The Pittsburgh Steelers have had the most consistent, high performing organization in it every year. Their worst years are 500 years. Um, and they're not winning because of star power, right? They are a well built organization. That's how I feel. hmm As a sports fan, the Steelers represent. There's an argument for the Ravens, in my opinion. Um, I think a lot of people would want to take a Philly or the Chiefs, and I don't want to get in the way of that rivalry, so I'll just let them duke it out and say it's probably like the Steelers. No, fuck the Patriots, they cheat. And they suck at drafting. Yeah, the Patriots are a shitty organization. They won because Tom Brady is the second or third best quarterback all time, and really, it's Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady. Those are the those are the three goats. Montana, Brady, Manning, in no particular order. Squint said, "You reap what you sow." In Henry CK. And yeah, but one of the things that when you look back on the New England Patriots that you have to acknowledge is not great built teams. Now, late 90s, early 2000s, got lucky, had really good defenses, otherwise, patchwork. A lot of that speaks to Bill Belichick, and sure, again, when you look back on it, DDB. Hanging out, watching the Thursday night football. Not a fan of the Patriots. You and my wife would get along great because she probably hates fucking New England too. I'm good. I'm doing the community building that we need to be doing. Just hanging out, watching football game. You never know, right? You almost reinstalled Discord last night. Just check on you. I can imagine it all becomes too much. The good news is eventually I'll get a bonus check at work that won't immediately have to be involving an animal, and I'll be able to get started on my part of the revolution. I've got Pathos on hold. I'm waiting until I. There's no sense in starting to take media without a without an account to put the money in and money in the account, right? And I can't accept money from other people. I can't do that and it fail. I hate owing other people money. So I'm just going to wait until I have it on my own and it's going to take a while because I'm not going to overextend myself. I'm going to make sure that I can suffer the loss. Tired of trying to bounce back, right? But anyway, I hope you're okay. Hope you're doing good. Obviously, I know there's a lot going on in the world, and that has a big impact on how people feel and shit. Whatever you're doing, I hope you're kicking its ass. Jaden Daniels running for his life. Micah Parsons through a double team, almost chased the old boy down. Almost died in the process. I'm just kidding. He got his legs taken out. From under him. I'm just glad that there are other adults that would put paint on their face and go to a football game. You know what I mean? That is funny. One of these days I'll get a bonus that isn't immediately dedicated to a dog. The last time it was $541. And taxes fucking suck, by the way. Don't ever make a bunch of money. It's terrible. Money is not the answer. Although it is awful nice. That's why I think that we all ought to get $500 every Friday. Because maybe you need to keep the lights on. Maybe you feel like buying a lottery ticket. Maybe you got a flat tire. You know what I mean? Who knows? That's what I deal with at work all day. Is I'm talking to people that if they had a flat tire, they would have no way to get it fixed. I'm trying to see if this game is going to end up in a decisive manner and I can just go to bed. Touchdown. And Washington decided that it's not going to happen. That we are going to play this out. Yeah, he scored. You know it's awesome, DB, if you're still there. Um, Dina is an incredible like visual artist that made me some t-shirts. Hopefully you can start a business. I don't know why that looks good. Does anybody eat Hardee's? To say I don't eat fast food is a lie. I just usually eat the same shit. But yeah, I think in terms of America's team, I'm still kind of trying to think about who is like a model of consistency. You don't know Dina. Mm-mm. It's been pretty much the same people for a while. That's a lie. I mean, we got somebody new today, but I don't even know who it is. So the good news is it's a good game. It's a one score game. The only problem is the wrong team's got the ball, and the wrong team's got the better defense. So I think there's a chance here. Green Bay could score. Then Green Bay could get a stop. They literally have a guy taking a fucking hit on TV right now. Thanks a lot. They just got a Master Guns arrested. Here we go. A little shimmy. A little shimmy out. I like it. Nice ball from Love. Damn. Jordan Love's A dot's good. Yeah, 17 to 10. Oh, my least favorite thing in all of football. All you gotta do is catch the goddamn ball. Yeah, defender held. They're giving him a score here. Actually trying to work him into field goal range. Oh, ho, 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 ho. Again, a drop. If Green Bay was able to score a touchdown here, they're in almost never territory and we go to bed. So we want Green Bay to score. You look like video games? Yeah. What's crazy is I think the game just keeps getting faster and faster, and you wouldn't catch me without it. That's for sure. These dudes are coming for your neck. I watch how fast these guys run at each other. A grown man died on a football field like less than 2 years ago. Had to be fucking resuscitated, and it took him almost a year to recover. And he might not ever be himself again. The fuck are we talking about? Put that goofy looking hat on me and pay me millions of dollars and get off me. Can you imagine when a guy gets inducted into the Hall of Fame and he doesn't have CTE? That's what I want. That's what I want. I want athletes that have multiple careers. I want athletes, just like I want veterans whose entire life isn't them being a veteran. I want professional athletes whose entire life isn't them being a professional athlete. I want to see them move on and do stuff. Hold? Maybe they'll stuff them here? Okay. So they stuffed them there. They're in field goal range. I think if it's a field goal, we have to watch another possession. Just so everybody knows. Tucker Kraft, tight end, Green Bay Packers, has the most receiving yards by a Packers tight end with 116 since 2015. I'm guessing there are a lot of people who do not know who that is. End around. He fell down. Almost died. The helmet is too. It was a great play. I don't know who this 83 is, but he's got some fucking flavor. Quarterback end around, and he fucking fell. But he's a laser beam. They are running end around from under center. Back to back. I love seeing it. Well, look at all the things Hogan went on to do, right? Yep. That's a problem a lot of veterans have is they unfortunately are required to live as a veteran the rest of their life. That might be the worst part. If Green Bay scores here, it might be over. Meaning I might shut it off and go to bed. If it's a 24-10 game, you go to bed. You could just watch that tomorrow. If they come back, it's once in a million, but otherwise, it's a two touchdown game. Less than 8 minutes left in the fourth by the time they score here. What you need is a defensive stop. And instead, they give up the touchdown to Kraft, who's having a career night, by the way. Tucker Kraft, sitting in the stands. Big old dude. Number 85. I wore number 85 when I was in high school. It's all right. I know this is weird, but it's the right thing to do. Okay? So now that it's a two score game, okay, in the fourth quarter, I'll go to bed. I'll just watch that tomorrow. Okay? And we'll hang out.